segment. Many of you would have seen all the responses that have followed the response of the central bank governor about the protest and the objects for that protest. And his response basically says that the protest was unnecessary. So I want to ask you what you make of it, right? Very interesting. We'll see how that goes. After this, we'll have Johnny's Bite as well. We'll have the big issues, and Bella is in with some fire as well. And I know that we're going to have some great conversations from our strong lady discussants. And as always, well, we have Akosua Menu Kozi, as she's known in public and private circles. She currently is the Chief Executive for the National Youth Authority, also vying for the deputy, so also vying to become the parliamentary candidate for Adenta for the MPP, and then also Nanaya Achimpim Jantwa also coming in as well, and of course Professor Benedicta Fosu-Mensah, also with the communication team of NDC. And as you know, we're going to talk about the BOG governor's insistence on not resigning and describing the protest as needless. And then, of course, we'll look at the EC terms. Okay, so the EC is terming the limited voter registration exercise a great success, with some claims to have exceeded expected target. We know that officially they said the target was 700,000. They estimated 1.3 million people, ideally, were within Ghana or outside our borders who needed to be part of this limited registration. Why they decided to peg it at 17, I think we all know why. Whether the exercise was a success, I guess we all have to make our minds. So we'll have some great discussions. Now, of course, we'll take you to the Jamestown beach, where we have fisher folk who also just going through their daily drudgeries to make ends meet. But we want to ask them, within the current stalemate or difficulties as far as the socio-economic environment is related, how are they making a living? So make sure you join us. We'll be having some sight and sound along the beach. And as you know, we are in October month. And you can see our sign there. I think my picture, I'm even wearing some nice pink, so it shows that there's solidarity.
And then we are going to speak to two of our lovely ladies from the Ghana's Most Beautiful House. You know that the grand finale is happening this Sunday at the National Theatre. We are engaging all our ladies so we get to know them up close and personal. Today, I'll be talking to Na Ayele from the Greater Accra region and Adwanigi from the Upper East region. And so be sure to join that conversation so you can be certain who you're voting for ahead of the finale on Sunday. All right, so that's all we have for you today. It's going to be a very interactive, exciting show. Remember also that today is the day that the Lord has made. Therefore, you can rejoice and be glad in it when we give away our cash outs today. Today we're giving away a lot of money. Okay, we're giving away 2,000 Ghana cedis to 3 people. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord.
2,000 cedis.
2,000 cedis per person. So all you have to do is dial *439#. Now is the time to do it. 2,000 this morning, hot. So dial *439# and keep your fingers crossed, keep your phone on, and you just might receive that alert when we do the draw. So that's all we have for you today. A great show and a lot of money to give away. Stay tuned. You're watching TV New Day.
Auditioning. Media General Group is hereby inviting all interested persons who aspire to become news presenters for auditioning as follows. Date: Thursday, October 5, 2023. The time is 9 a.m. Venue is at the premises of Media General Ghana. Required competencies: excellent reading skills, fluent in English, excellent editing skills, outgoing, abreast with local and international developments, news gathering and reporting skills, good writing, communication and presentation skills, ability to think creatively, and good research skills. Qualification: first degree in social sciences, communication or journalism and related disciplines. Master's degree is preferred.
This is Key Points, the #1 award-winning television news analysis program, providing an enlightened analysis of the key issues facing us as a country.
The key points of the stories that matter with the people who matter.
This is Key Points, the #1 award-winning television news analysis program. Every Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on TV3 and on 3FM 92.7. TV3, first in news.
The TechnoSpark 10 series. Smooth, hard-wearing, shiny, avant-garde and futuristic color options. You could be the proud owner of this food. Simply follow the award-winning show Ghana's Most Beautiful either on TV or online on any of our social media platforms. Vote for your favorite contestant, and if you emerge the highest voter after the competition, you walk home with the latest TechnoSpark 10 absolutely free. Pick up your phones today, vote your favorite contestant to victory, and win the latest TechnoSpark 10. Also get up to 20% discount on Techno Come On 20 series at any Techno exclusive shop by showing proof of voting on GMB. So no one is left out. Keep voting. The Ghana's Most Beautiful Highest Voter promo is powered by TechnoSpark 10 series. Ghana's Most Beautiful, Ghana's Beauty, Africa's Pride.
Mac Brown's Kitchen. Mac Brown's Kitchen.
I'm ready to send me to Mac Brown's Kitchen every new season, new stations. Hey, Mac Brown's Kitchen, oh. Na me want TV so ache. Ani o mu hu ya ache. But the nyamia ye ni enche kra no. Ba TV3. Mimi Ani 5 to 6 p.m. Nana ya be hwa mo wate. Mini mi kunu no me na so sisa Ghana fodo. That's it.
McBrown's Kitchen, premiering Saturday, October 7th at 5 p.m. on TV3.
Get ready to witness the most dramatic kitchen battle ever. Drama in the kitchen where rivalries simmer, egos sizzle, and only one rival can claim victory. Two rivals, spatulas in hand, egos on the line. It's not just about the food, it's about the drama. Can they put their differences aside to create the most loving meal, or will the heat of the kitchen prove too much to handle? Are you a wife or a husband? Are you a girlfriend or a boyfriend? Can you cook with your partner's ex in a bid to see whose meal tastes better? Or can you compete with your mother-in-law or father-in-law in the kitchen? Then this is the show for you. On Drama in the Kitchen, you get into the kitchen with your partner's ex or in-law and prove that you own his or her taste buds. So much drama and love in one kitchen. Be part of the Drama in the Kitchen experience by sharing your details via WhatsApp on 027-722-2641. Stay tuned for Drama in the Kitchen, coming soon to TV3.
Our mission here at TV3 is that the news comes first, and that's the promise of News Central.
With reporters every corner of the country.
Consignment to attend their action,
Team production, the Lions,
And experts across the subjects that affects you the most.
We stay across the big stories that impact you the most as they break, develop, and evolve into major national issues.
With all angles covered across the country and across every subject. I am Kemini Amano.
And I am Eric Mawina Egbeta.
News Central, coming soon on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
The experts at
I seek for unmatched work experience that will prepare me for the real job.
Internship can help you stand out in a competitive job market.
I want to be an intern in one of Ghana's most reputable companies.
In the heart of the corporate world, there's a search for the next top intern.
On this journey, some aspiring interns will get to embark on an unforgettable adventure.
These interns will face a series of real-world challenges and tasks.
For the next top intern on the Top Intern reality show, ambition meets determination. From the tasks to the boardroom, to alliances, and to winning. Who will be the ultimate top intern? Get ready for an epic internship showdown. To be part of this reality show, aspiring participants should have at least a second-class upper and above. Register now at forms.mg.com.gh/topintern. Who sweeps the top prize of an internship at a reputable company, cash prizes, and many more.
Are you the one?
The top intern we're looking for, be you?
The Top Intern. Today's learners, tomorrow's leaders.
You're welcome back, and this is still TV3 New Day. Thank you so much for sticking and staying with us. We're streaming live on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. Special good morning to all of you who are watching us on Facebook and all our other social media platforms. And good morning to you if you're watching us on DSTV channel 279. Let's go straight into our conversation for this morning. And just yesterday, news broke about the Bank of Ghana's governor responding to concerns for him to step down after the report indicated that they had posted some 60.8 billion in excess of losses for the year 2022. Now, per a report that was put out by Central Banking, which is an international business website, we're told that the Bank of Ghana Governor, Dr. Ernest Addison, has stated that he will not resign from his position, and neither will his two deputies. In fact, he described the protest organized by the NDC on Tuesday as completely unnecessary and needless. And he says that the minority in parliament have many channels to channel their grievances, and so maybe they should have employed that. Now, I wanted to check and make sure that he actually made this statement. So if you go on Central Banking's website, it is there clearly, and the subject says Ghana's governor rejects opposition's call to resign. And they also quote him as saying that it was absolutely needless. He says that the demonstration yesterday was completely unnecessary, and neither myself or my deputies intend to step down. So we're asking you this morning what you make of this response. Are you concerned that at this point, when we're all worried about the economic downturn of our country and the fact that, again, if you listen to the side of the minority, they say that the Bank of Ghana governors had a hand in where we are today. Was it prudent for the governor to make this statement at this point, describing the protest as needless? Call us and talk to us about it. The numbers are on your screens at this point. Would love to hear from you. And send a message as well. Remember, the hashtag is TV3 New Day. Now, Roland, what do you guys think about this?
Well, I think that we all know that when you go to the Amended Act of the Bank of Ghana, it clearly states how the governor has to be removed Now, of course, the governor was appointed by the president, of course, in consultation, etc. So before we came on air, we were discussing what is indicated in that Amendment Act.
Yeah.
And then what it says that you can remove the governor the same way you remove a justice of the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And that is clearly stated also, how those individuals are removed in the Constitution.
So clearly a protest may be, or maybe the calls for him to resign are not the way to go. Do you agree as well? We have a call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, sir. What's your name?
I'm Duncan from Kentampo.
Thank you for joining us again. Speak to us. Is the governor of the Bank of Ghana right to describe the protest as needless?
Never. Let's be honest ourselves in the country. The man, Dr. Anderson and his two deputies, is just a disrespect to this country. It's not about politics. Let's forget about politics this morning. And the real Ghanaians. How can we employ you, give you a job, pay you with taxpayers' money, but when it's come to for you to listen to our decision, it becomes something else. I don't understand how this country, most of the times, sometimes the people that we pay them with our own money is all we want because they don't want to listen to us. Look at what just happened in the just ended protest with Isabella. It is changed. How can we pay them? The EC budget is approved in Parliament. Is that not so? So why is our parliamentarians are taking decisions if we refuse to listen to them? The same thing is happening currently. We all know that even GRE came out and said that they have exceeded their target. What happens to all those money, Bella? But today, Bank of Ghana is running lost. We the you don't know what this country is all about now. It's a hard time we should speak. And
okay.
You are doing the best for us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. But if you also call as well, I mean, let us know what you make about this, because if you look at the statement that's been released, or that was released by the Bank of Ghana, explaining how they arrived at the 60.8 billion in excess in losses, they said that, well, because of the domestic debt exchange program, it led to a significant impairment losses of 32.3 billion to the bank's account, and then impairments of marketable instruments also accounted for another 16.1 billion, bringing the total impairments of government holdings to 48.4 billion. And so they didn't have a hand, in the greater percentage of the losses that were incurred by the Bank of Ghana, which is why we're where we are today. So what do you make of it? I think we have another caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, sir. What's your name?
My name is Patrick calling from Kumasi.
Talk to us.
Yeah. Bella, in fact, the posture of the governor of Bank of Ghana is a clear indication of the posture of our president and all his appointees. Their level of impunity, the level of disrespect that they have for us as citizens has clearly shown. And I'm sure yesterday you saw the posture of the representation of MPP, Pilot Enam Hajide, how he answered questions. It got a point in time when Nashoko asked him questions. It was as if Nashoko was even from the other party. Meanwhile, now was doing his job. And I'm sure today you witness what the lady will do. Akosia Menu, the same thing. It's a clear indication that MPP, Nanato, and his cohorts don't respect Ghanaians. It is about time that as citizens, we put our destiny into our own hands. And Governor Addison, you should know that somebody put you there. A time will come that the citizens, the youth of this country will rise again. I remember back in the days when another was, a candidate. He went on Peace FM saying that Arab Spring, somebody set on fire. Similar thing will happen. Now, the youth of this country, we are not, in fact, we are not angry enough.
Okay.
What is happening?
But
the country.
But the law, sorry, sir.
What is that?
But the law clearly states how. Sorry, sir. Can you hear me? Okay. The law clearly states how the governor and his deputies can be removed from office. I mean, a committee needs to be set up. With a governor like this, it has to go to the Chief Justice, with a petition that has already gone to the president. And then a committee needs to be set up. And then eventually, if they find that he or she is guilty of whatever crimes are being leveled against them, then they can be removed from office. Otherwise, then we cannot just say...
in fact, listen to me now. There's this saying. Hello, now.
This is Bella, by the way, but carry on, sir.
Yeah, Bella, sorry.
Don't worry, carry on.
There's this adage. Hello, Bella.
Carry on.
Yeah, there's this adage in Accam Say a basic one and Kiashawama. If indeed the governor will listen to us, this wouldn't be his posture. Right from day one, they use the Ghana Police Service to disrupt whatever the citizens of this country to the minority wanted to do. And they are telling us to follow procedure. They do. Even Namabu, did you even listen to his own MPP people? When the majority members of parliament, over 80 members of them.
All right, thank you.
They want.
Thank you very much.
You know, even though Bella and Roland, there is a written down procedure for the removal of the governor, I think that, generally speaking, the importance of demonstrations and protests in a democratic dispensation such as ours should not be downplayed. I was very surprised when I read the statement that the governor was likening the protests to hooliganism. And I thought this should not be encouraged, because demonstrations and protests are guaranteed. It's a fundamental human right of all people in Ghana. And so if you have a grievance and you want to protest, as long as you do it properly, then you are doing the right thing. You are allowed to do it in a democracy like ours. And so the governor should come again. And for all our leaders, we should actually encourage protests and demonstrations. And if we won't encourage them, at least we should not downplay them or dismiss them and describe them as hooliganism.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That is true. And I think that if you retrace what the world has experienced over the last year or two, and particularly we have from September and October, when the cedi started depreciating against the US dollar, comparisons were made between Ghana and then it was Sri Lanka, because the people then went to invade the presidential palace or whatever. And since that time, we've seen a lot of uncertainty being experienced by a larger chunk of the citizens. For those who invest in financial instruments, for those who have invested in businesses, and the ordinary people who get passed on these taxes, and so their purchasing power is reduced. And since then, you just have to measure the opinion of the main supporter region of the ruling government, in the Ashanti region, by the very media houses who are based there, and tend to speak to ordinary citizens to get to know how they feel. So public opinion is very important. And I think it's that bubble that it has just burst, and that also is rubbing off negatively of all those who are in critical positions like the BOG boss.
Yes, we have another caller now on the line from Ho. Hello? Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning. What's your name?
Hello, my name is Samuel.
You're welcome to the show. Tell us, what are your thoughts on the the governor's position? Can you please turn down the volume on your TV set so you can hear me clearly? We're getting some feedback in the studio.
Okay, please. What I think is, you see, in Ghana, we don't have the culture of people resigning naturally if they find themselves in corrupt acts. And I think the posture of the governor of the Bank of Ghana is uncalled for. I think he has to just resign with all the things that are happening in the BOG right now. It's pointing to the fact that he's not competent to manage the affairs of the financial policy of Ghana. I think there should be a law. There should be a law that can actually make people to resign without passing through a lot of processes and putting things, going to a committee or whatever. If you are finding a corrupt act and it causes a financial loss to the state, I think there should be something that should easily make the people to resign, so that we will not be passing through all this stress. Really?
But in all fairness, don't you think that whoever has been accused of whatever corrupt act deserves an opportunity to also state their case, and therefore the investigation, and therefore the long process?
Okay, yeah, it should be that. But some of these things, they are clear. Okay, the investigations that will be carried on will still be pointing to the fact that there's a loss So I don't think that we should be wasting time talking about this. They should just resign so that we move on. Because I think there are competent people that will occupy the office, but for the job to be done.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sam from who. For calling, and some things there should be a quicker process of resignation. But then I think in the interest of natural justice, it's important to hear the other side. So if there's an accusation or allegation or whatever against whoever in a high position, they should be given the opportunity to also state their case. And so the procedure which has been laid down is important in a democracy like ours. But thank you so much for calling. You can also call us. The number is on your screen. Roland, before the caller came in, you were making a point.
Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario if you tend to look at what public opinion is and then the implication on what people think about the performance of the government. And I think that it's what the government has suffered over the last year that is still within the belly of many people. And for people in such sensitive positions, the decisions they make, how they react to that is very important. Because, for example, the posture of the central bank governor and his deputies has now rubbed off negatively of the government. Yeah. You see, but if you had come out, or one of your deputies had come out to receive it, I think that all these sentiments would have been cooled off a bit or died down.
I agree.
At the end of the day, this is where we are. And it's all because about the posture. You know, the white people, or those who are in the developed countries, I don't know, they could still hold on to their positions if they so wish, but they just choose to resign. Let's say you have a finance minister in the UK or secretary, etc., and he chooses to resign, even though he can still stay in his position and insist, well, I haven't done anything wrong. And really, you might not have done anything wrong, but it's just the times within which you find yourself. Yeah. And so for the good of the public, then they just take that kind of flack and then they just resign.
I agree.
It kind of just cools off the temper and then makes sure that we have calm restored. I don't know, in a part of the world doesn't happen.
For me, it's also about the conversation on reviewing the Constitution, so that we also limit the powers that the president has to appoint. Because then we're told that the BOG is an independent institution. Yeah. So ideally, they should be making decisions. They also advise governments on some of the financial decisions that they make. Yeah. But where the president has put you there, if your boss says, make this decision, of course, you are independent, but can you say you will not do it?
So the question is, are you independent?
Are you independent? Well, let's go over to Johnny's Bites now. We'll come back with some more.
Johnny's Bites. Johnny's Bites.
You know, I've watched you. Sometimes our people disagree with you, but I mean, I understand some of your approach. I mean, sometimes we take a hard bite. It helps us as politicians.
Nowadays, when I listen to you, I even panic.
Why?
Hey,
why do you panic?
The way you